Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you a Week 5 CFL prediction between the Hamilton TigerCats and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Now, here are my keys for the TigerCats of Hamilton. In order for Hamilton to have some success in this matchup, Glenn's play has to improve. He's completing less than 50% of his passes, a lot of turnovers, a lot of stalled drives in the red zone. They're only getting field goals. They need touchdowns. What they need to get is some sort of balance in the running game. DeAndre Cobb has to get going. They have to get better at blitz pickup. Otherwise, Kevin Glenn's going to have a long day back there in the pocket, and the defense is doing their part. So if Hamilton's offense can come around and catch up to where the defense is playing, they will be undefeated. They'll win a lot of games, but it's up to that offense to get in gear, get going, and get Kevin Glenn's passer rating up to where it should be respectable. Now, here are my keys for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Now, Saskatchewan had a setback last week, and what happened in that matchup is the fact that they stalled in the red zone. They couldn't get the drive going. A lot of turnovers really killed them, and in order to win this football game, they have to protect the football throughout the game. You look at Hamilton's defense is playing outstanding. Saskatchewan's offense is outstanding. Durant is still one of the top quarterbacks. He had an off day, 3 interceptions, but I think Hamilton's going to come into this game trying to develop the running game. But you look at Saskatchewan's defense is playing tough. If Saskatchewan can protect the football, they can win this matchup going away, which is why I'm going with the Roughriders to win this game. Bring you a Week 5 CFL prediction between the BC Lions and the Edmonton Eskimos. Now, here are my keys for the Lions of British Columbia. In order for the Lions to come into this matchup and win this game, they have to get better play from Lule, the quarterback. He has to protect the football. He has to learn how to make quick decisions. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself backed up and down the distance and buried on the scoreboard. The defense is playing fine. Offense has to be consistent. Lule has to protect the football and get rid of it quickly. Otherwise, he's going to tee off blitz and knock him out of the game. And now you're going to go to your third string quarterback. So they have to get better play for Lule until Printers is able to get back in that matchup. Now, here's my keys to victory for the Edmonton Eskimos. Now, Edmonton comes to this matchup a little Jekyll and Hyde. They have to stop that. They have to be consistent week in, week out. Edmonton is a team that can line up and beat you each and every game, but they have to be consistent. They can't turn the football over. They have to protect the football, and it's all not Ricky Ray's fault. A lot of times, well, if you look at interceptions, yes, those may be his fault, but a lot of times you don't know what's going on with the routes the receivers are running, maybe getting in and out of their brace a little bit late. So it's up to that whole offense to protect the football, and they have to get that balance going with Whitlock running the football. Defense is going to play fine, but defense is also Jekyll and Hyde. They do just enough to keep you in and out of the game, so the entire team of Edmonton has to be consistent. But since they're playing at home, I think the Edmonton Eskimos will do fine. I think they will win this game against BC. It's going to be a close game because both quarterbacks are struggling. So I'm going with the Eskimos in this matchup. Bring you a Week 5 CFL prediction between the Toronto Argonauts and the Montrealouettes. Now, here are my keys to victory for the Argonauts of Toronto. Toronto is on fire right now, and the reason is due to the fact that they're running the football well with Corey Boyd. Boyd is on fire. When they give him 20-plus carries, he's averaging 150 yards a game. So it's important for them to get him the football early and often because it provides balance. And if that offense has balance, that's going to keep that pressure off Cleo Lemon and allow him time in the pocket to hit those receivers down the field. So they have to get more Boyd involved in the offense. That's going to give that offense that balance that they need tremendously. Defensively, they're doing their part, creating turnovers that bend but don't break. But that philosophy has to, they have to tighten up, because if you allow a team to get into the red zone, yes, you may stop them from getting touchdowns, but field goals do add up. But the defense has to, tie up loose ends, have to become a better tackling team. They miss a lot of tackles throughout the season, so they have to become better tacklers, and they have to continue to create turnovers. That's what they're doing. Defensively, they're opportunistic, and that's helping out the Argos, which is why they're on a 3-game winning streak. Now, here are my keys to victory for the Alouettes of Montreal. One thing I like about the Montreal Alouettes is offensively, they spread the football around. They continue to spread the wealth. 5 different receivers catch the football each and every week, 5 or more. Running the football, you have 3 different running backs getting carries, so you spread the wealth around. Teams don't know who to key on and stop, and that's the most important thing when you're playing offensive football. You have to spread the wealth. Otherwise, teams can lock on your favorite player or your best player and take him out the game and force you in backed up situations. Defensively, they have to get pressure on Cleo Lemon. Cleo Lemon does hold the football a little bit too long, so if you rush him, especially coming on the outside with a blitz, he's liable to take the sack or get rid of the football into the hands of a waiting defender. So you might want to get pressure on Cleo Lemon, because if you give him time in the pocket, those receivers can make plays down the field. They will burn you, especially with that questionable secondary that's going on right now in Montreal. But I'm still going with Toronto in the upset. Toronto's playing lights out. They have balance in the running game. I think they're going to come in motivated to get the victory against Montreal. This is a big rivalry, so I'm going with Toronto. Bring you a Week 5 CFL prediction between the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Calgary Stampeders. Now here are my keys for the Blue Bombers of Winnipeg. Now Winnipeg boasts one of the more explosive offenses in all of Canadian football, and they did it last week without their star quarterback Buck Pierce. Giles stepped in, had an outstanding game. That he needs a repeat performance if he's going to be this quarterback this week, if Pierce is still out this matchup, but he has to have a repeat performance, especially against the Stamps defense that can come in and get pressure on the quarterback. But if he can have a repeat performance this week, this offense is going to keep flowing. They're going to keep scoring points, and that defense is going to continue to fly around the football. Now here are my keys to victory for the Calgary Stampeders. Now the Stamps were able to slow down one of the more hot quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League, in Darian Durant. They have to utilize that same strategy because they're coming against another mobile quarterback in Giles. So if they can utilize that same strategy, contain, keep everything in front of you, don't rush up the field with pressure, get pushed. That way you collapse the pocket, force Giles to beat you from the pocket with his arm. That's the most important thing. Do not rush past the quarterback. Otherwise, you just create a lot of lanes for Giles to step up and take off running, especially if they were playing, if Buck Pierce is playing, you know he will take off running. But they have to have the same game plan they use against Saskatchewan in order to defeat Winnipeg. Otherwise, it's going to be a shootout, and you don't want to get into a shootout with a team, a scrappy team like Winnipeg. Otherwise, you don't know which side is going to come. It's going to be the last person who has the football. Playing at home, I'm going with Calgary. That secondary is going to play well this week. They're going to get after Giles. They're going to force him into some errant throws, and I think they have a better defense right now to deal with this mobile quarterback Giles in and out the pocket. So I believe Calgary is going to win this football game in a close one, closer than a lot of people think. For more CFL previews, visit footballgameplan.com/CFL or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan.